Guys, the internet is breaking. Kim Kardashian just took her 12-year-old daughter northwest to Rome, and the images coming out are genuinely concerning. Not for me, but for the internet. Respectfully, everyone has their own opinion, but some people are saying a child dressed in a corset top, platform boots, and style to look like an adult woman. This isn't just a fashion choice. This is a 12-year-old child being presented to the world in clothing designed to make adult women look sexy. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more juicy celeb breakdowns delivered straight to your feed. I would really appreciate any support, any comments. Okay, let's get into the next section. The photos from Rome are impossible to ignore, wearing what can only be described as a bustier style corset top, a garment literally designed to push up and accentuate a woman's assets, let's say. She's wearing enormous platform boots that add several inches to her height, making her appear older and more mature. Her hair has been styled with blue extensions in adult fashion. These weren't casual paparazzi shots either. The photos clearly show that photographers were positioned and waiting when their van arrived at the restaurant. Multiple angles, professional lighting. This was a coordinated photo opportunity. Kim even made a TikTok with North and her friends during this outing, ensuring maximum social media coverage. It's giving Kris Jenner. Some people are saying what's particularly disturbing is how deliberately adult the styling is. When you search online for typical 12-year-old girl outfits, they dress as like children. The internet's reaction has been swift and largely unified in concern. Comments across social media platforms express shock and worry about North's presentation. First quote saying, "So inappropriate, Kim. Not a fan of a bustier on a 12-year-old. Another comment says, "Why does her 12-year-old have amped up cleavage? This is sick." Another comment, "This is a child," all capital letters, "being styled to look like an adult woman." I don't know, I feel like maybe if you see some of their videos, you can see North has her own style. I feel like Kim isn't one to force a style on North, North is going to say something, but again, that's just me. Many longtime Kardashian supporters are drawing a line here, recognizing that there's something fundamentally wrong with presenting a preteen this way. Child development experts have weighed in as well, noting the psychological impact of forcing children to present themselves in adult ways before they're emotionally ready. What's particularly telling is how many people immediately connected to this in broader concerns about child exploitation entertainment. It's triggering serious conversations about the responsibilities adults have to protect children. Unfortunately, this isn't an isolated incident. We've seen this story before with Kylie Jenner, who was heavily made up, dressed in adult clothing, and essentially marketed as grown up before she was 18. Kylie has openly discussed getting lip fillers at 16 and appeared in highly stylized, adult-orientated photo shoots as a minor. Many have pointed out that North appears to be on the same concerning trajectory. Kardashian business model relies on maintaining public attention through any means necessary. Family members become brands at increasingly younger ages. While most families protect their children from public scrutiny, the Kardashians seem to actively push their children into the spotlight as soon as they become marketable. There was also this whole drama on the internet about Stormi and doing this ad thing for Kylie Cosmetics, but I feel like that's a topic for another day. While Kanye hasn't publicly commented on these specific photos from Rome, the situation seems to validate many of the concerns he's expressed about his children's upbringing. I feel like I also haven't seen something crazy from him in a while, but also a subject for another video. For years, Kanye has been vocal about wanting to protect his children from what he calls the Hollywood nonsense, the premature exposure to adult themes and media exploitation. That's why I literally recently saw an article about the people that live in Hollywood have moved away to either a different country just to get away from all of the toxicity of Hollywood, which I stand for 100%. You see the people, I don't know, I feel like the it thing now is just moving to Hawaii. In numerous interviews and social media posts, Kanye has specifically mentioned his fear that his daughters would be pushed into adult presentation before they're ready. During the divorce proceedings, one of his main points of contention was having a say in how his children are presented in the public eye. As one commenter put, Kanye West was right about everything. He knows the freakos that are watching her now are going to love it when she's 18. While Kanye's approach and public statements have often been eccentric, his core concern about protecting his children's innocence appears increasingly legitimate in light of these images. There's so much going on in Hollywood. There was also another thing about Khloe not leaving her children to do sleepovers with like random people. I actually think it's also with her family, but because of everything that is coming out now, especially. Also, it's important to note that Kanye isn't blameless either. He's featured North in his music and fashion shows from a very young age. There's a troubling clip where he's asking North about her expensive designer clothes while she's repeatedly saying, I don't know, about how much everything costs. Both parents have used their children for content and brand building, just in different ways. There's a particularly concerning aspect to the timing of North's increased public exposure. Kim Kardashian's own media coverage has been relatively quiet lately, with fewer headlines and less public interest than in previous years. As her own ability to generate buzz has waned, North has been increasingly pushed into the spotlight. This follows a predictable pattern we've seen with child stars and celebrity children throughout entertainment history. When the parent's fame begins to fade, the child becomes the new content, a fresh face to maintain the family brand and keep the attention. What makes this especially troubling is that North didn't choose this life or this level of exposure. She was born into it. And now it's being molded to fit the family business model before she's old enough to consent or understand the implications. Her childhood is being sacrificed for Instagram likes, TikTok views, and paparazzi photos that keep the Kardashian name in headlines. As one person commented, North is really being pushed onto us. Whether it's Lion King or this or that, they're really trying to keep her in the headlines. The calculated nature of these public appearances, complete with strategically placed paparazzi. The most heartbreaking aspect of this whole situation is watching a child's innocence being systematically eroded. North West is only 12 years old. I feel like we forget about that. She legit is 12 years old. An age when most children are focused on friends, school, and age-appropriate activities. Instead, she's being thrust into an adult world of fashion and media scrutiny. Child development experts consistently warn about the psychological impact of forcing children to present themselves in adult ways before they're emotionally ready. This adultification, big word there, can lead to a serious issue with self-image, identity formation, and boundary setting. Children who are tested as mini adults often struggle to develop a healthy sense of self separate. North is at a particularly vulnerable developmental stage, right on the cusp of adolescence, when children are naturally trying to figure out who they are. By pushing her into the adult presentation now, she's been denied the crucial experimental phase of identity formation that every child needs. Instead of discovering her own style and interests organically, she's being molded to fit a pre-established brand image. What's especially concerning is that North appears to be internalizing these adult standards. What's particularly troubling to some is how many adults are complicit in the system. Designers creating adult-styled clothing in child sizes, photographers taking disturbing images, media outlets publishing them, and audiences consuming them. Adultification of children. North West deserves what every child deserves: the chance to grow up at her own pace, to play, to learn, make mistakes without global scrutiny, and to develop her identity away from the pressures of public consumption. The fact that she's being denied the basic rights isn't just a celebrity scandal, it's a failure of the adults who are trying to protect her. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I want to bring you more of these stories. See you in the next one.